Hey, 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 welcome back. It is the VO Life podcast. Yes, I took a week off. I had to take a week off. If you didn't take a week off, shame on you. I even shut my phone off for a while, but not totally, as some people that were gone on vacation that joining me this week. And it is the partner of all partners, Charles Coates. Welcome, Charles.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me back.
Man, it's good to see you, buddy. It's been a while, and I miss all three of us, or four of us actually, with Jake and Alden getting together, and it's always good to get you on here. And to even make it more interesting, we have Amanda Elgie with us this morning.
Hi, guys.
Yay!
Hi.
Amanda is also a voice actor, which this is a VO Life. This is not that other podcast that I do called Between Takes, where we do not talk about voiceover much. It always slips in somehow. But Amanda, tell us a little bit about you and where you're from.
Well, I am originally from the Midwest. Grew up in Central Illinois. Charles and I actually connected over being Cardinals fans in Holland.
Nice.
Moved to Connecticut 15 years ago now. Oh my gosh, I've been here so long. Been in voiceover for about 5 years. I had the same kind of pandemic meltdown that I think a lot of people had and thought, what am I doing with my life? I was a college professor at the time, and I started coaching and eventually made a demo. And long story short, 2 years ago, I went full-time, which has been
Nice.
a really wonderful experience. I love this job.
Yeah, sounds similar to me,
Yeah.
similar to Charles. So
Yep.
we're a 5-year club, apparently, right?
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
of us. We've been in about 5 years because I think the first job I did was the week of July 4th in 2020, the first real
Oh, wow.
paid job.
Congrats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's been 5 years. And full time, I went full time after 18 months. So it was kind of
Wow.
a do or die thing.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to die on the vine where I was working, and I was sick of it, and it was time to do something different. So, I'll Charles, jump in at any time because
Mhm.
you know how we are. We don't prepare. We just it
Yeah.
happens. Amanda, tell us a little bit about what drove you toward VO. Being a college professor, what were you teaching, and then why did VO come out of this? Was it the
Sure.
was it
Yeah.
was it the same old of a lot of people who go, well, I just saw ads and it said you could make money, or no, was it something else?
Yeah, I
So
want to know because because Amanda's like, I was a professor and I was like, I need to figure out what to do with my life. I'm like, what? You were a professor? Like, people end up going, what do I
well,
need to do with my life? And then they go back to school and become a professor. So I was like, I want to,
Right.
when I was a professor, they would
this is
come see
interesting.
me, and I would actually help students kind of figure out like their next steps, what they wanted to do, help them transfer to different colleges and different programs. And there were things that I really loved about that. But I grew up as a theater kid. I
Wow.
started doing theater in third grade. I was on the speech team. I did competitive poetry reading in high school, and I loved it so much.
That's
So
awesome.
much so that my first paid job that I ever got when I was 16 was a voiceover job. And
Really?
there was this company when I was doing competitive poetry that there was a guy in the audience. He handed me his card and he said, I think you would be really great helping with a couple of these little projects. And they were for training for the military. It was essentially like, the things that you do, like the trainings that you do, like harassment,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
learning. So a group of us who were in that room went in and recorded all of the little like kind of in between lines, and that was the first thing I was ever paid in my life to do,
Huh.
Wow.
which
That's
was super
amazing.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but then
amazing.
I got away from it, right? Like I think as you grow up, sometimes you talk yourself out of things. When I was in college, I started as a theater major, and then I was like, I can't make money doing that.
Yeah.
And so switched over
Yep.
to communication PR, went and got a graduate degree in political science, realized I hated working in politics, and
Yeah.
so switched over to teaching and being an academic advisor for many years in college at the community college system here in Connecticut. And there were components of that I really loved. I loved working with my students. I loved, there's a lot of storytelling in teaching. But I always came back to and thought about voiceover in theater. And I think what the pandemic really prompted from me was I'm home. I'm here. I have time to do things. And I've always wanted to do this. And if I don't, then when would I ever do this?
Mm-hmm.
And if I get to the end of my life and I'm sitting at my nursing home at 90 years old, I know that if I don't do this, I'm going to have a lot of regrets, and more regrets than if I fail spectacularly at this. Like I could fail doing this, right? I could still fail doing this. I mean, I'm doing well now, but things change. But I am so happy that I'm here.
Love it.
I love that.
Absolutely love it. Love it.
I think what you say right there, there's a key component of fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because fear, there's unhealthy fear and then there's healthy fear, right? A healthy fear or a healthy, because that kind of healthy fear is when a challenge comes and you're put into an uncomfortable situation, that uncomfortable as in like, oh, I don't like to feel like this, or I don't feel secure. I don't feel like I have a firm footing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, we've been in it 5 years. We've kind of, I'm sure we've had a lot of the same experiences, but like you see your biggest growth when you are not like status quo, going with the flow. You see the biggest improvements when you're uncomfortable, right?
Yes.
Right.
When
I agree.
when you get that feeling, when you're like, oh, this stinks, but I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm. No
Whether
plan
it's
B.
whether it's your marketing or whether it's, man, I have to pay for coaching, but that's money I don't have. Well, you can probably sacrifice other things to find, $60 to go to a group coaching session with a casting director, or don't eat out for 2 months. I mean, whatever the time takes. It's that uncomfortable feeling and that fear, and it's like, well, if I do this, maybe it's not going to work. So, like you said, I just won't do it.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't going to make me money, so I'm not going to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've enjoyed watching different people invest in different ways or change their trajectory in different ways. Some good examples. Jake is a great example. He took another at-home position to get the pressure off because he was worried so much month to month. And when he took that pressure off, he started booking stuff like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's awesome.
and it could have been two things. It could have been it was just his time, or it could have been, the mental prep of worrying, I've got to book this. I got to book this when he's auditioning.
He's not bringing that baggage with
He's
him.
not
to the,
bringing
to the
baggage. It
reads.
makes a difference. Where things changed for me was when I could say, I don't really have to have online casting. I've got a pretty good direct book of business. Maybe I should look at something else to supplement. And as I go after special auditions, instead of auditioning for 7 hours a day for stuff I never book, and that prompted me to go after UGC, which has led to a really good income. And it offsets the pressure where now I can come in the morning, a lot of times be done with what's in the box at 10 o'clock, go record my UGC stuff, and I'm done unless something else comes in. So now it's 12 o'clock and I'm done versus it's 12 o'clock and I'm auditioning till 6 o'clock and not making any money. Me becoming choicey and picky worked for me. Charles's investment in going to certain conferences and certain places definitely worked for him. And then Jake's choice worked, and apparently Amanda's has too. But I think getting the pressure off yourself somehow after about that third year, if you can relieve some pressure, so even if it's, some of it's peer pressure because you're thinking they're doing so good. Why am I not doing as good? How come they're making this? Well, I've been doing this. I'm just, I think I'm as good. If you're going to share that in your auditions and in who you are, and you have got to get the pressure off yourself somehow, some way. So that's why I always tell people, don't jump in full time too quick if you can avoid it. don't over pressurize yourself. Be
Mm-hmm.
totally prepared, and then when the day comes, maybe you can ease into it, and it won't be as stressful as it was for some of us.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I agree. I feel like when I'm putting pressure on myself, or like when I feel pressure and then I do auditions, that probably comes through in my audition.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
100% it will.
Yeah.
And so
really
I really try to not do that as much as possible, because there are like months over the last few years where I'm like, oh, I'm not making the amount that I should be at this point in the month, and it would prompt me to like audition more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the more I would audition, even though it's a numbers game, and I think auditioning a lot, can be really good, it would really stress me out and really come through in the audition.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, I have to stop doing this. This is not
Yeah.
Yeah.
productive to me at all.
Yeah.
Quality
That's like
over
that's
quantity.
like yeah, that's like fishing. That's like going fishing and you just want to fish so bad, or like, I need to catch a fish. I need to catch a fish. And you're just like casting out there and you're casting out there and you forgot to put a worm on the hook. So now you
Yes.
just got this, you're fishing like a madman, but there's nothing there for them to bite on.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like, take your time, figure out what fish is in the water, figure out what bait you're going to use for that kind of fish in this kind of weather. Okay. And you toss it in there, and out of the 5 casts, you might get one.
Right.
Instead of out of 70 casts, you get nothing.
Right.
Even though, and then you're going, what's wrong? I'm
Yeah.
fishing. I should be catching
Yeah.
something, but there's nothing on the end of the
Spinning
hook.
your
And
wheels,
that's and that's when, to me, like the platforms where short lists are encouraging, because you're at least in the running more often, and a callback, or whatever. And that does make a difference. I do believe in the quality over quantity for me. And I think for some people they can do more if they are relaxed about it and they're in the right frame of mind, and you can do 50 auditions a day. Heck yeah, go ahead if that's what you want to do. I was advised that way at once, and it was not the right thing. It caused me a lot of stress and a lot of worry and some issues on one of the platforms, and I had to rebuild. But on the other hand, if you're not auditioning, you're not getting anything. But when you are, if it's not the real you, and you're not connecting, you're one of that 80 out of the 100 where the casting director's going, that's another one. Oh,
Yep.
God. Oh,
Yes.
God. And one of the things that I've learned, right or wrong, and I hear all the time, maybe you're doing your first one kind of as close to the spec as possible. The second one, just be you and do it out there. I started reversing those auditions, and short list and callbacks went up quickly. So I started doing the first take, how I heard it and how I felt it, not that far off the specs, but more me, way more me. And then the second one might have became, more commercially conversational according to their specs, but I wanted to catch their ear with the first one and be different. And if you're different, I do think they put you in the pile, a lot of times. So
Amanda, when we were at the Euro retreat, did you go to
I know exactly what you're going to say.
Kelly Machinsky's?
Yes.
And she played. Okay, so Kelly
The same.
Machinsky, for everybody that's listening, if you don't know who Kelly Machinsky is, she is the owner of casting. And Amanda and I were in Amsterdam, in Holland, at a retreat, at a voiceover retreat, and she was there, and she ran some classes which were absolutely amazing. And she says, "Okay, I'm gonna have you guys step into my shoes for a minute." Well, it was about 6 minutes, and she goes, "Yeah," and she goes, "I'm gonna go ahead and play just the beginnings of
I saw her post about that,
auditions,
like
of
50
of auditions that I get." And she goes, "And this is the script, and here we go." And I can't remember. Do you remember which one? What it was? Is like the cat walks down the hall, or what was it, Amanda?
Yeah, it was something about a hall. It was oh no, that's going to bug me.
Yeah. So let's just say it's today the cats went down the hall, right? And she just played it, and she goes, "I'm going to play the first 3 seconds of every." And we went through. I mean, she played it for 6 minutes straight. It was like 80 or 120 of them, and we're just sitting there, and it's like, the cat went down the hall. 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 the cat went down the hall because somebody's mic's terrible. The cat went down the hall. Like,
Yeah.
and it's da 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 da, and we were like, and it was getting to the point where it was like kind of awkward. Like I was like, is she gonna stop this? Because it was just everything was the same.
Yeah.
And then you get somebody that's like, whoa, the cat went down the hall, and then it's just like this bright sunshine,
Yeah.
like like a creamer in your coffee that you love. It's so different. Like it's in the sea of
Praise the Lord, something's different.
Hey,
here.
exactly.
Yes.
And she's like, and she's like, what did you guys hear different? We were like, and then we were all like, oh, this person, remember when they kind of did this and when they kind of did this? And she's like, yeah, all those would have gone straight into a second round. And then I'll listen to more.
Amazing. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Amazing. I think
Yeah.
she posted something about that, and they're going to play it on their podcast too.
If
And-
she
and
does, everybody needs to listen to that
I'm
because
telling you.
For sure.
And
it's
I
long,
love
it's
her
long,
advice.
but it's really good.
yeah,
I love her
It-
advice. She is very down to earth, and really, a while back on one of the podcasts, she said, "I'm so tired of agencies sending me the same 25 people. I want to hear other people. They're picking the same ones because they have a good relationship with them, and we're seeing or hearing those same people over and over and over. We need to hear more voices because these." They're okay, but we want to hear something else. And it's nice that somebody would come out and speak a little truth like that.
Yeah.
Really nice. Really nice.
Yep.
So, Amanda, how are you in your business? How are you set up as far as, and this is not an income question. This is more of a marketing and streaming question. We talk about a lot spokes in the wheel, where we derive things from. We're doing direct marketing, Fiverr, Voice123, Voices.com, blah, 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 blah. I recently got on a place called Voice Machine. Was invited, they're in the UK, got invited to come on there and immediately booked 3 jobs just right out of the chute.
Wow.
And they paid
Voice
their
Machine.
corporate narration short, under a minute, and they paid really well. And so, you just never know what you'll run across. But tell us a little bit how you're the spokes in your wheel and how it works.
You do never know. So when I started back in 2020, I did in fact start on Fiverr. I hopped on there because I got coaching, I got a demo. Eventually, I think it took me like 6 months of coaching before I got a demo. And then I was like, what do I even do with this? Like, I don't even know where to go from here. And so I saw that people were on Fiverr making money. So I hopped on and I started making some money on there. And I think I realized really fast that Fiverr is an interesting place. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to be doing voiceover work for $20, $25. So I hopped over to voices.com and started booking stuff on there, raised my prices on Fiverr, and just did that actually for honestly too long. Because I was really comfortable in that space. I'm like, oh, well, I'm booking things on Fiverr. Like, they're just paying me. They're just coming in on Voices. I'm booking a lot, and so this is fine. But I kind of quickly realized that, if you have a bad month on one platform, you need a lot more than just kind of 2 places to go. So I started doing my own direct marketing, which I hate.
Don't
I hate
we
it.
all?
I hate doing it. I don't like it. But I do it because if I don't, that's not a source of revenue that I potentially
Right.
have. And one thing about direct marketing is that you never know when it's going to kick in. There was an ad agency in Switzerland that I emailed, and 7 months later, they got back to me, and I booked my biggest job to date from
There you
a
go.
place that I cold
Nice.
emailed. So
Nice.
you never know. And I thought, when I did it, oh, well, it's worth a try. And then I didn't hear anything back, which, 95% of the time you don't.
True. But that's
it's still-
encouraging, though, to hear that. People need to hear these stories because they get so disappointed after a month or 2. And it's not a month or 2 thing. It is a long haul.
I
and it's
almost gave
awful.
up because for months I didn't hear anything from
Mm-hmm.
anybody. But the people that I talked to kept telling me, it doesn't happen overnight. Just keep doing it. And genuinely, you never know when somebody's going to reach back out.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and there are a lot of discouragers who keep saying there's too many voiceover people marketing and people are tired of it, and that's why they're not replying because they're sick of seeing that. I can't hardly believe that because most people don't want to market. A lot of the people I talk to are trying to figure it out or how to set it up and et cetera, and they talk about it and they just kind of decide not to do it. Maybe their business builds enough, like you said, you're in a comfortable place and I don't want to market. And it's great if you don't have to market, if you're making enough money and don't have to. But yeah, marketing is it's a slug. It's awful.
It
Well,
really is.
for us, I think let's kind of talk with each other and kind of feel out what our like why are we still in it and doing well compared to other people that started 5 years ago that are no longer in it and they've sold their stuff and they're on to a different life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What are those things? What do you think those things are?
Good question.
That's a great question.
I have probably more opinions than fact. I'm going to say they did not coach and did not learn the craft, and then
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sorry if this hurts, they just didn't have it.
Mm.
And I have consulted with people, and you can almost tell. They either have a musicality to them or a creativity to them, or they're this I've been in management or HR all these years and da 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 da, and they're just business, and this just looks like a decent opportunity. And I've always been good at talking to people,
Mm-hmm.
and this is so much more than that. I think to a lot of people, it gets so overwhelming after about a year, they drop out, a year or two. But
Overwhelming as in like I've invested
no
in
return. Yeah.
this stuff but I have
Mm-hmm.
made no money.
And I know people that have been in it almost as long as I have, and they're still not doing hardly anything, but they won't give up. And here's the other thing: I've heard their stuff; they're pretty good. So that kind of washes out my other theory in some ways. But that could come from personality, how they are to work with, et cetera, et cetera.
Hey,
You have to be the Quan to do this.
mm-hmm.
If you remember that from Jerry Maguire, I want the Quan, I want the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have that in this. You have to wear the business hat. You have to wear the personality hat. You have to be very easy to work with. You have to understand your equipment, your technology, and be good with it. You got to
Yes.
be fast most of the time. Once you've built up and you got great clients, they can forgive a day or two off or a week off.
Mm-hmm.
But I lost a job back last October because I had my out of office on my email, and it basically said, I'll be answering my emails, and I'll be back at home in 2 days. Well, they said, well, we just saw out of office and we moved on.
Wow.
And that's what does that tell you? Nobody reads the emails. What's in the subject line matters,
Mm-hmm.
right? So anyway, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's just 2 cents on why I think they're falling out. But
I think um, coaching well coaching period coaching number one you should coach
Yes.
and who you're coaching with and why you're coaching with those people
right,
I think is very important because you can coach like that's like coaching without a goal, right? Like when I coached with, let's say, Brett Highland, for example, he said, "Why do you want to coach with me, Charles?" And I was like, "Well, because you are like a slayer of dragons on pay to plays, and I want to shortlist more and I want to book more on pay to plays." It was very specific.
yeah,
And he's like, "Okay." Like he had the plan for me. I coached with him. It was like day and night difference.
yep,
Like here come the friggin' bookings, right? And so now if I didn't have the goods, he probably would have coached with me first, or maybe not taken me on as a coach, because he he'll set up a call with everybody for 15 minutes, and if he doesn't think you're a good match, or maybe you're just brand new starting out, I don't know how he does it, but he doesn't take everybody because he still needs to work too. He's still working and
Sure.
and killing it. And so I think that's why that coaching session with Brad worked so well, because he is actively booking, so he knows what's the sound is. He knows what's out there, and we had a goal specifically for coaching, and he was like, okay, yeah, I can do that. We'll cover that. And so I think that's why that was like a home run coaching for me. Because I've done coaching before where I was just like, okay, well, this person's having a special, and I just coach with them. And then you get there and they're 5 minutes late to the Zoom, and they're like, everybody's going to get a read. And then we get through 4 people of 10, and it's like, well, this was what, you know, and then all they say is, that was great. And it's like, well,
Yes.
that was great for everybody. Like, everybody was great. Like, we're not paying money to hear that we're great, And I'll tell you what, though, in the very, very beginning, that's kind of what I wanted, that validation, right? Because I'm like, okay, somebody's saying that that's really good and this and that. I'd rather somebody tell me, dude, like, what the hell was that? Like, I told you, I need you to do this and say it like this because I need to feel this. And then you just read it exactly the same. Like,
It's like
tell me where your mind.
feedback.
Yeah, it's like, tell me where your mind is.
I remember you telling that on one of our podcasts way back about you thought you were supposed to get feedback for everything when you first started.
Yeah.
And then you were asking people, how come nobody tells me if they liked it or not? I thought that was great. And it's true. We throw so much out there into the world and don't get anything back. And then on top of that, I think a lot of people think they're going to get in this for $500 and that's all they got to put into it. And then they realize, I got a coach, I got this, that. And I tell people now when I do these talks at the conferences that if you're not ready to invest $10,000 the first year to be serious, and maybe not that much, but 10 is a good number.
Close, yeah.
It's a good number. I mean, you might could do 5 one year and 5 the next or whatever, but you're going to spend it.
Yeah, you could cut that number down just a little bit if you live in a subdivision that's brand new and people are building houses around you.
Exactly.
Take that down just a little bit.
Exactly. What about you, Amanda? What do you think?
I think definitely I think Charles is right, having a specific goal, because if you're just kind of flailing around, not like focusing on something, I think it's easy to kind of get bogged down in this industry because there are so many different things to do. But then also having the flexibility of knowing like, maybe this part of the industry is not for me, and how do I pivot to something that is? I got into this thinking I was going to do audiobooks, and then realizing really quickly that audiobooks as a strategy was not for me. I think I've done 12. I'm happy and willing to do like a... You've done
11.
one.
That's 11 more than me.
11 more than me too.
I'll do a
that
romance
I didn't even
novel.
get paid for the first one. So.
Oh no. I did a couple of royalty share at the beginning. Never again. Never again. That was so much work.
It's a lot of work.
I think
But you
that
actually,
was...
but you actually did them for people, right? There
did,
were
yeah.
real people that existed.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well.
Oh! I feel like there's a story here.
Yeah,
There is a
that was my one. Yeah, that was my one that
Charles.
totally burned audiobooks for me for the rest of my life.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was like 100% royalty share. I was like, it's okay. I'm just, I'm starting out. I'm like 5 months in, and I did an audition on ACX, and they're like, it's great. We love it. And I'm like, awesome. It's called Parenting for Parents. And it was like 86,000 words. No, it was 86,632 words. I remember. And I did the 15-minute, like the kind of the first thing. And he's like, okay, it sounds awesome. Everything's great. And I was like, cool. And I was new. I didn't know how to edit. I wasn't fast at anything. and I'm trying to make it perfect because I'm new and I want this to be the best thing. I'm very, very proud. It's very validating for me. I'm posting on Facebook to my family and friends like, hey, I got an audiobook. They're like, oh, that's so cool. Like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I'm like a real voice actor now. And I get this whole thing done. I'm like not going to bed with my wife every night. Like I'm crawling into bed at 2, you know, for weeks at a time.
Yes.
And I send it all off to get it approved and nothing's coming back. And I was like, let me reach out to customer service. They're like, we'll go ahead and send them an email, and if they don't reply in 6 days, let us know again, and we'll send it again. So 6 days goes by, nothing. Now I've sent everything to them, right, for them to approve. It's all finalized, ACX format, everything. And then 6 days rolls by, nothing. I call customer service back. They're like, we're going to reach out to them one more time. If they don't reach out in 6 days, reach back out to us and we'll give you all their information, their phone number, physical address, everything, so that you can reach out to them. And I was like, cool.
Gosh.
6 days later, nothing. They give me all his information. And here's the kicker, okay? The name of the owner has a Japanese name. So I'm thinking like, okay, parenting for parents. Okay, it's a book. It's probably just like it's just an investor. Like I go around and I buy books, buy the rights to the books, and then I'm just gonna get them done on audiobooks, and I put them out, and then this guy gets royalty shares. It's fine. It's a good business model. That's what I'm thinking, right? So I call the number, right, first. And it's like, this number has been disconnected or is no longer in service. And I'm like, what the heck? The number doesn't work. So then I typed the address in to look it up on Google. And it was in Canada. And it was a picture. I did Google View, you know, the road view. And it was a picture of an empty field. And I was like, you son of a gun.
Oh.
So then I was like, I'm looking up this dude and seeing who he is. So I type in the name.
Find you.
Hell yeah.
I'm
I
going
was
to hunt
pissed.
you down, you
Yeah.
scammy
I'm
sucker.
going to hunt you down, but it looks like you are an anime character. Really? This anime character kept coming up when I typed in the name, and I was like, oh, this guy has the same name as an anime guy? That's crazy. Really? No, that was the name of the name that they fake started their account with. So I wrote this giant email. Like, it was like, dude, I just want you to know that you pretty much effed over a really good guy that is trying to make it, that was really proud of this job. And just know that, like, dude, like, you hurt me, man. Like, don't do this to any more people, please.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like I was pouring my heart out and I was angry, but I wanted to know that it's like, dude, you did this to a human being. I wasn't just some name, you know, that was typed on a screen.
Mm-hmm.
And I never heard anything back, but I don't know, it made me feel good. Hopefully it changed his life. Or
Okay,
her
well,
life.
I can see how that might put you off of doing audiobooks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is not nearly that dramatic. I just realized that it took me so long to produce a finished hour that I did not get paid very much for, and I could do a commercial in 10 minutes for the same amount of money.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was booking commercials, so I'm like, why not focus
you go.
on booking more of the things that, you know, I am booking that
Yeah.
don't stress me out a
We
bunch.
kind of get spoiled by like if you
We
end up like
do.
doing well in commercial, like we kind of get spoiled because we're like, I
Mhm.
ain't doing that for
I-
that
yeah.
much.
I
love
know, I
those.
feel spoiled
I
sometimes.
love
Yeah,
them.
because it's just like, oh, yeah, no, even local stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'll take $400 for a, 30-second radio spot.
Yeah, heck
Great,
yeah.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All day long. I'll do one of those a day, no problem.
Please, yeah.
My one book was it was a book about MRP systems, which I worked in all my career. And it was a Southern author, and my agent sent it to me, and I'm like, I really don't want to do an. He said, no, listen, all you have to do is read. If you mess up, hit the clicker. They'll do all the editing, everything,
Oh, nice.
and you'll still get $250 a finished hour. I said, seriously? He's like, yeah, and it all went through Tim Heller Creative. They do all the editing, and and it wasn't a bad experience, but it wasn't a super long book. It was only like a 3-hour deal. But and I've auditioned for two more since the same way, didn't get them, and I was kind of like, thank God, because I only auditioned because I love my agent and I would do it for him.
Right.
But
Of course.
yeah, it's just not for me. And it's like you guys are saying, this is important to everybody out there that your first few years you're going to dip your toe in a lot of different pools. You're going to try a lot of different things, and then you're going to find if you'll start cataloging. And I always kept a spreadsheet from day one, every booking, every month, and what type of booking it was. What percent was commercial? What percent was just a narration? What percent was that? What percent was video games? And it surprised me, commercial and video games were the bigger part of it, and then narration after that. But as time has progressed, it's become more narrations, then commercials, then it's, I don't know what to call the other. I guess, it's a combination of radio, imaging, podcast intros, and things like that. And then it drops into some other stuff. But it will pivot and change, and you have to pivot with it and focus on, like Amanda's saying, where is it paying off? That's where you focus your education, you focus your marketing, etc. Because those, you're booking that, you're good at it, and it'll continue. But
And I think, I think that's
You're fine.
I think that's a good thing, because now that you're in that stable, like, that's your wheelhouse, right? That's your thing. Okay, now that you're pretty comfortable in that, keep that going. And now that you
And
have
now
that,
what?
and now
Let's
that you
learn
have that
something else.
stability,
Yes.
like, okay, you know what? I want to kind of learn about some character stuff. Like that's something. Well, now since you're still making money, you can invest in a little bit of coaching to do some animation.
Exactly.
You can invest in a little bit to maybe do your marketing better, streamline your marketing, whatever it is. But like you said earlier, Amanda, it's like you can't just be there flailing around and you're just treading water in the same spot, and
Yeah.
you're working, but you're not doing anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think commercials are a thing that I book a lot in. I think they're probably my primary genre,
Mm-hmm.
but I book a lot. Actually, weirdly, I thought it was going to be e-learning, and I do e-learning. But my second biggest booking genre is medical narration.
Sorry.
Yep.
That's a great genre. It really is. It's
It
just
pays well,
It
and it
does.
pays
It does.
fast.
I love it.
And
I
I've done
love
I've
it.
done a little of it. I've even done some pharma taglines. I've done the disclaimers or the info sections.
Yeah, the ISIs.
ISIs.
Yeah.
I've done
do a
some
lot
of
of
that.
ISI.
Me too.
I had a regional radio with Pfizer one time, but I hate the pronunciation stuff because it's not my thing. It's just not. And I've got this YouTube channel that does a lot of prehistoric stuff, and and this is not your typical YouTube channel. These guys pay top rates because they have so many
Nice.
followers and subscribers, and I don't mind doing them. It's the only one I've got left. I used to have a lot, and they will send stuff sometimes with all these freaking dinosaur names in it, or these different satellites that are going up, where they're talking about stuff in space and all that. And they don't warn you or highlight anything, or they don't pay you any extra for any of that. But it's such a pain. And that's where I fall back on laziness and say, just give me a commercial. Just give me
Yeah.
something easier. And
Yep.
and really, I would love to be able to sit and do that kind of stuff because yes, it pays really good. And I've done corporate work, but I've never done like a full big e-learning module package ever. And that's probably fun. And that's one of my targets that I'm starting to work on now is industrial e-learning. I don't want to do the other. I want to do the industrial where it's going into a factory or a
Right.
place where I would fit. And that's another thing I always try to research. Where can I fit in e-learning? I don't think I fit in medical e-learning. I don't fit in this type, but industrial, sure, I can talk all day about
Totally.
the factory safety and all that kind of stuff.
Well, and I think people, I mean, that's a good way to kind of find your path. Also, is like, what do you have experience in?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I was a FedEx driver. I was a paramedic. I was a bartender. So like, I was a manager. I was in training. So it's like, take all those things that you've learned and see where you can kind of plug that into someplace. So let's say it's e-learning. Well, okay, well, I have experience in parcel delivery and sorting and and fleet management, and it's just like you don't really think of that kind of stuff, but if you do, it's like, okay, like I got a lot of different little ingredients in my drawer that I can offer.
Matters.
You know?
Life experiences matter a lot.
Mm-hmm.
For sure,
because
because they want an authentic voice for a thing.
Absolutely.
And
Oh,
if you
yeah.
don't know what you're
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about, then it shows.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of that, those of you that are listening and coming to OVC, I know Charles has a session. I want him to talk about that too. I'll be doing one called You Are Enough, and that's exactly what this is about. It is taking all of you, your authenticity, your past, your background, and how to apply that to your voiceover career. It's very important. Charles, you're speaking as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my session is called Make It Happen. And it's about resiliency, not giving up, and just kind of my story of where I started. And hopefully if people listen to that, they're like, holy crap, like if that's the way he started, I can definitely do this. But it's that making it happen thing. Like that mic stand that I have, I keep it in my booth, and I also keep my first pop filter in my booth. And this is it right here. And this is a 99-cent crochet ring with an old
love
sock.
that.
This is an old sock, a dress sock. And I used this for 2 years because I could not afford a pop filter for $19.99 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to hear excuses.
Right.
It's like you can excuse yourself out of everything.
Yep.
And you can fear yourself out of everything. And if you want to make it in this business, you have to make it happen. It's not going to happen for you.
You got to hustle.
Yep.
You have to hustle.
You do.
And that's going to be my session. So if anybody's listening, come to it. It's going to be awesome, and I have a lot of cool little freebies and swag. So.
Yeah. You when you were ordering your stuff, I actually used the same vendor and got a couple things. I'm going to bring some VO Life keychains and some buttons that say "You Are Enough." Be fun, and I'm going to have some bags. Like the little bags they give out with the drawstring on it. I've got some of those with VO Life on it, and actually I've got a label printed to ship them to your house.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to send one box to your house if you'll be kind enough to bring it to the hotel.
Yeah, of course.
And that'll be great. I'm looking forward to it, to seeing people. I skipped VO Atlanta this year just because we had so much going on with my wife's double back surgeries and everything we had. So I skipped, and it was probably the right thing to do. But man, am I missing seeing the VO peeps?
Yeah.
Getting to see everybody. I am really looking forward to it. And yeah,
Amanda,
it'll be
are
fun.
you coming to OVC?
I'm not. My daughter's starting high school that week.
Oh, well, that's not important. No.
I know, right? I want to
Priorities,
so badly 'cause
Amanda.
I've never
Jeez.
been. I'm like, I'm nominated. I want to go so
Yeah.
badly.
Yeah.
Next year. Next year.
It's fun. I enjoyed it so much last year. I wanted to go back this year, and then luckily got invited to speak, and so I was
That's
really
awesome.
really happy about that. A lot of fun. Amanda, where exactly in Connecticut are you? Because I used to go up in that area a lot for business, so I'm curious. Are you on the Massachusetts side or the other side, or where?
Pretty close. I mean, Connecticut's so small. We're all pretty close to
it's-
Massachusetts. But
So what's the big airport up there that's right up close to the state
Bradley.
line? Bradley, yeah, that's where I always flew into Bradley's.
oh, okay.
Can't
I'm
believe
20 minutes from
6
Bradley.
Oh, okay. So I would drive from there over to Chicopee, Massachusetts, and that's where I
Yeah.
go. Springfield and then to Chicopee. Yeah, beautiful.
Okay, yeah.
It just looks like home when I go up there. The landscape and the mountains and the way, My favorite thing when I was up there traveling, somehow my GPS, I was going to the airport and I didn't pick to stay on the main roads. It was the best thing ever because it took me these back roads and I got to see all these farms and barns, and I love to see stuff like that. It's beautiful. The old houses and all, beautiful country up there. Beautiful.
It is. It makes me feel like home too. Like I'm from the Midwest, but I'm not from Chicago, Illinois. I'm from like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
My high school was in the middle of 4 cornfields. We had our own water tower because there was nothing else there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like driving up in Connecticut, not where I am because I'm pretty close to Hartford. So, like,
Yeah.
we're very suburban. But the quiet corner of the state just has, like, all of this beautiful, like, just wide open landscape, lots of farms, just a nice place to drive around and see everything.
Yeah, it is. Now, what do you really enjoy doing when you're not recording, not spending time, in VO? What
Yeah,
kind of hobbies?
the non-VO life, Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm pretty introverted. I love reading. My pandemic hobby, other than voiceover, was brewing my own loose leaf tea. So I like do my own mixes. So I'll make you a nice cup of tea. I travel a lot, though I'm trying to travel a little bit less. Travel rigs are a mess.
Can be.
Bringing your mic along with you, and I always feel like I need to have it. So, I still take 1 or 2 trips a year with my fam. Yeah, that's
No,
about
no,
it. I like.
no bad like shopping, Amazon hobbies, anything.
Oh Lord! And the 8th
I'm in
starting
trouble.
today.
Candy?
8th
I
to
guess
11.
candy is my bad hobby then.
Oh, okay.
I
Candy.
love banana candy, so like you send me some banana Laffy Give me all of the like fake banana flavor. I love it.
Huh.
Okay,
That's
I
interesting.
have a fun fake banana fact.
Ooh, tell me.
Yeah. So the flavor that, like you said, send me all the fake banana candy because you like that fake banana flavor, right?
I do.
Did you know that flavor is the actual flavor of original bananas?
Yes.
Okay.
That we don't have anymore.
That
yes,
we don't have
the,
any-
the captain.
but
yeah.
you can buy it. You can buy them. There's a company that sells them.
You can?
But it's like $50 for 5 of them. And they're like from the strain of the original banana.
A $10
I know
banana.
what I'm asking for Christmas.
So when you eat that banana, it tastes like banana candy banana.
Holy smokes.
Like Runts,
my gosh, I'm
like
so
the banana
excited.
flavor from Runts, like
That is cool.
that's what it tastes like. And
Oh,
in your mind you're like, well, that's fake banana taste. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
that was what everybody
from the
ate when they
original
first ate
banana.
bananas.
That's something. Oh, you were talking about traveling. Have you guys seen the Highland? The travel setup?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I don't think I
Brad
have.
Highland was involved in developing a travel setup, and it's foldable, small, and lightweight. And Karen Gilfrey just reviewed it on her podcast, and she said, I will never use
Then-
anything else.
Yes. So Karen was in Holland as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah,
remember.
that's where she was using it.
Oh,
yeah.
that was her. Oh, but it's
Yeah.
based. Oh, that's why it's
Brad
called the Highland. I
It's
didn't
called
know
the
that's why it was
Highland.
called the
Yeah.
Highland.
Yeah, Brad was involved in that thing.
I peeked
So
in while
I-
she was showing it to people, but I didn't get to like really look at it myself. But it looked nice.
Yeah, I found the material, and I don't remember what it was, and you can buy it, in certain sizes, and you could probably buy it and cut it up, but it wouldn't be fixed like this one, sewn together, and it's got the straps and whatever. But if it works that good, I think it was like $349. It wasn't dirt
That's
cheap.
not too. That's
But
not too bad.
I'm telling
though.
you, I'd rather do
No.
that than fool with the luggage rack and the stuff and all
Oh,
that.
you
Listen,
should have
I was in
seen me.
Japan 2 years ago, and I got a rush job. Like I booked a job, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I had to I made a pillow fort like between the beds, and like I used the luggage rack, and I like had my little mic, and like I could still kind of hear the HVAC, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like trying to turn the temperature down, and like my daughter's in the next room, and I'm like, can you guys go for a walk?
Yeah. Get out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah, like,
hotels are
please,
just
please,
noisy
just be quiet.
anyway.
I was so when we were in Amsterdam, right? I got a booking with one of my agents.
Oh yeah.
And my setup was so jank up there. I had the luggage rack because downstairs, I had a downstairs and upstairs, and the upstairs was just a room, right? But it's in that kind of like chateau kind of a building. So the stairs that go upstairs are like straight up and very
So
narrow.
steep.
And
So steep.
yeah, it's like I'm going up to my room to find Rapunzel. You know what I mean?
A barn
And-
ladder.
Yeah. And so I couldn't do it downstairs because the AC was way too loud and it was a big open room.
Yeah.
So I took the luggage rack upstairs. I took 2 chairs from downstairs, took them upstairs, and I was sitting on a footstool and everything was on the bed. and it all worked, but it was so chaotic.
Yeah.
And like
It's
if I
stressful.
if I moved a little too fast, like the whole thing
Mhm.
would have collapsed like a card of houses
Yeah. Oh,
no.
or a house
Stressful.
of cards.
You know, the most stressful thing to me is trying to edit on a small screen.
Mm-hmm.
I just, for some reason, that drives me nuts. So I was talking earlier about Amazon stuff. In the last couple of months, I became, thanks to having a good year, I thought I'd like to have a bigger screen that's portable. I can travel in it and go to my laptop no problem. So I did. I got a regular like 24-inch super thin travel screen, and I think that'll relieve the pressure. But then I started buying stuff for UGC and this gadget and this type of light and this stand and this green screen thing. And next thing I know, I was looking at what I'd spent and I felt so bad. And then I started sending stuff back, and the people at UPS really hate me. I was like, I don't really need that. I'm taking that back. I shouldn't have bought that. I'm taking that back. Guilt set in. So don't binge shop if you're a gadget junkie. It's
Well,
just not a
one
good
thing you can do, Troy, is what I do is I take my laptop, but I usually take a HDMI cord with me, an extra one, and I'll just plug it into the TV that's in
That
the
makes
the
sense.
hotel.
Oh,
That
yeah,
makes
that is a
sense.
good
Yeah, and then
idea.
it's like, oh, giant computer screen.
Yeah, that
Yep.
definitely makes sense.
Yep.
Huh? Maybe I'll send that monitor back now.
UPS,
don't know.
dang it! You said you weren't sending this back.
No. Well, I'll tell you another thing. It's really handy for having an extra monitor, and for UGC stuff, I can throw my phone onto that monitor
Oh, mirror it.
and mirror it and flip
Yep.
it. And although it's not a whole lot bigger than the phone, it is a little bit bigger. It will at least give me, if I want to flip the phone and use the back camera instead of the front one, I get a little better picture, and it's really good for that. But and then I can run my teleprompter on the regular screen and let it run, and put the other one up on top of it where I'm not look like I'm looking over here reading the teleprompter.
Right.
But boy, this has been a learning experience this year. I mean, figuring out how to make it look natural and be able to read the copy and never come off the camera and all of that. And
Did you
trying
have any
different
like
cameras and-
on-camera experience before
No.
this, Troy, or did you?
No,
That's
none.
awesome.
Had none, and
Good
I'm,
for you.
I'm really just doing. I'm just voice acting. I don't pay any attention to anything except don't wear the same shirt every time and don't do this and don't. I don't pay any attention to that. And the cool investment was a gimbal for my phone, because I can let that thing out and walk with it outside while I'm talking. It looks natural, like I'm taking a walk, but it's stable. It never moves.
Yeah.
And so that was a really good investment, and it wasn't that much. But I'm big into, you self-teach yourself as far as you can go, and then you start watching. It was just like voiceover, watching YouTube videos, trying to find somebody who's trusted in it. I had and Charles, I think you remember Grant Holmes.
Oh yeah.
So Grant does really well in this as a spokesperson. He does web hosting, all kind of stuff, and he's been a good resource. He was a lot of help. Don't do this, get this, don't do that, and that was when I had thrown Fiverr away. I had done 2 voiceover jobs on Fiverr almost in 4 or 5 months. It just wasn't coming in, and then I put up all these UGC gigs, and now I'm booking all kinds of them on Fiverr. Plus the voiceovers pick back up because it gets your profile more visibility, I guess. And so that's been good on both points. Not that that's something I'll ever rely on, but I like the extra that comes in from it. But
Yep.
yeah, it's fun. It was something new to do, a new challenge, and at my age, I got to be challenged.
Yeah. We all have to. We all should be challenged, because if
wanna
we
get to
don't
Alzheimer's.
challenge, yeah. I have a question for Amanda. What was like the craziest thing you've ever voiced?
The craziest
Whether it be
thing.
and not crazy as in like the most money, but craziest thing as in like
gotta be a Fiverr
you're
job.
kind of embarrassed to even
Probably.
like tell your friends
Oh,
about
gosh.
this one.
I did a whole thing for the Canadian Digestive Fund about diarrhea.
Oh,
So that was
that's
What a great subject to come up, because I'm actually prepping this afternoon for a
colonoscopy.
test. Yes,
Yeah.
actually. So, yeah.
Are you
Well, you
drinking
can check
Go
out
Lightly?
the Canadian Digestive
Well,
Fund.
I had to have all I could have this morning was a couple of scrambled eggs, and then you go on clear, and I can have chicken noodle soup, this afternoon if I want it, but
Oh,
no
so
Are you
you're doing this
taking
cream.
Are you
podcast
taking Go
hungry.
Lightly?
No, they're doing the Gatorade Miralax mixes.
Oh yeah, the Gatorade one.
Which
Yep.
I don't think it works as good, but okay. But and then and I got to be there at 7 in the morning. So luckily, but no, I'm not hungry because I'm on Zepbound and I don't even care about food anymore. So
Yep.
it's good. It's all good.
Yep.
It's all good. Yeah, Charles and I kind of have had that going, I think, for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
it's doing okay. There are some some side effects I've noticed. I think I worry more. I used to be a I don't care person, and I see that I think more about other things because honestly, there's no food noise going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, boy, I'm hungry. I need a snack, man. I want something salty. I wonder if we got any.
I want
bread,
something cheesy. I want something
Yeah.
crunchy.
Yeah, and
Okay, so off the podcast, can we talk about this?
sure.
Excellent. I'm on Wegovy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah. And speaking of that, we're coming up on about an hour, and
What?
so yeah.
Wow.
So I want to give you guys a chance to talk about, your websites, how people can get in touch with you. Are you? I always ask people this, and so it's like, well, if I say no, I'm going to sound rude. No, if you're not available to talk to other voice actors or whatever, if you don't really have time for that or you got rules for that, it's a good place to put that out there. I tell people all the time, I'm available. Send me a Facebook message or whatever. Please don't text me, find my phone number and text me. Send me a Facebook message or an email, and I'll answer you when I can. And be prepared that if you send it on the weekend, I'm not answering you till Monday. But I'm not being rude. It's just that I want
That's
to
a good
live. I want to
boundary.
live a life too. Yeah, you got to have
Yeah.
boundaries. So
Yeah.
let's
For sure.
start with you, Amanda.
Oh gosh. Okay. So you can find me on my website, which is amandaelgie.com, or you can find me on Instagram at amandaelgievoice. I'm happy to talk to people. What I will say is, I think that when I got into this industry, I felt so much love and support from a lot of people who didn't need to do anything to help me but did anyway, and I would love to pay it forward in any way that I possibly can. So
deal.
if people have questions or if you're struggling with a specific thing, I'm always happy to talk about it because I've spent the last 5 years now thinking, oh, if I do this, I've made it. If I do this, I've made it. If I do this, I've made it. And the goal keeps getting kicked forward, right? Like if I get an agent, I've made it. I got an agent. There's still things that you can keep doing because you have to keep kind of pushing forward to get to the next thing.
Growing, pivoting, expanding. For sure.
Yes.
For sure. All right, Charles.
Really quick though, you said if I do this, I've made it, and I do this, I've made it, and then you're always growing. I did a thing with the Cup of Joe thing with David Rosenthal yesterday, and he made a really interesting statement that was like, oh, it's like if you think right now like life is good and voiceover is awesome and this and that, he's like, I've been in it for 40 years. He's like, you right now are in your little specific paradigm. And he's like, that will be different in 5 years from now.
Yeah.
In 3 years from now, probably. He's like,
Constant
it will
change.
be different. So if you're doing the same thing, it's not going to work for this next paradigm that you're going to shift into. You know what I mean?
You have to change with the industry.
Yeah, you
Right.
have to adjust.
Right.
And the second thing is, if people aren't watching this and you want to go to Amanda's website, it's Amanda Elgie, and Elgie is spelled ELGIE.
Oh, thank you. That's a good
Amanda
call. Thank you.
Elgie. And on Instagram, it's Amanda Elgie, ELGIE. Okay.
Thank you, Charles.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Now, Charles, how do they find you?
You could find me on all the social medias. It's Charles. It's either Charles the Voice or Charles the Voice VO or Charles_the_voice. It's going to be Charles the Voice, and you'll see my picture in my profile. And my website is charlesthevoice.com. Super easy.
And welcome to the club.
Yeah, dude. Okay, real quick.
Isn't it easier?
Here, let me get up in the camera here. For those of you that are watching, I shaved my head because I've always had losing my hair on top and a bald spot in the back, which I never see because I only see the front, and then I see a video and I'm like, who's that bald? Oh, that's me, right? And so I just shaved my head, and I'll tell you what, I am never going
Right.
back.
Right.
It
you'll-
is so convenient.
It looks good.
Thanks.
And you'll go
thanks.
through the experimenting that I have. I tried an electric Remington, a Baldy Pro, whatever. It's pretty good. It's pretty good for $50 or so. It's probably the best razor for the money. But there is nothing like a good 5-blade flexible razor shave to make that head slick as a cue ball. And the only thing I miss about hair is in the summer when you're outside and you're sweating, it goes right in your eyes.
Hey, that's what I
mean,
noticed. My
that's
wife
the
and I
only
went
thing.
on a hike this morning, and that's what I noticed. I was like, because I didn't have a hat on.
Yeah, bucket hats
And
are your
yeah,
friend.
and,
They are
and
your
the sweat
friend.
was like rolling into my face. I'm like,
Do you
why
wear
am I
like a
sweating?
sweatband, like an old,
You
like an
can.
80s?
You can. And I've just found that
Wear the
you
old
know,
'80s gym shorts like
oh
the coaches
God,
wore.
yeah,
Yep,
with
with
a
the
stripe
socks,
on them.
tube socks.
Oh,
with
that's the
stripe
bike,
on
the
side.
bike shorts with the big elastic wide waistband and the spot built shoes.
I'm gonna bring it back.
Remember those?
I'm bringing it back. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody can, you can, Charles.
Yeah.
And a bandana is my best friend anymore. I bought a big 6-pack of bandanas, and when I'm out doing stuff, I just stick one in my
That's
pocket.
okay.
And just
I might
dab it
I might-
off, before
yeah.
it gets in my eyes. It helps.
Yep,
It helps. Hey, I want to thank you both for joining this week after a week off. It was good to get to see some people, even if it's on the screen. Amanda, great to get to know you, and hope
so
to
nice to
see
talk to
you.
you.
Hope to see you somewhere soon at one of these places.
Sure, yeah.
And Charles, good as always to see you, my friend. I'm
Yes, sir.
always incredibly proud of Charles and have loved watching his career and always wish him the best. Just quit auditioning for Southern accent jobs. That's all I
Hey, you're the one who's like, every time I talk to Troy, it's like, I live in
Texas.
Texas, he lives in Tennessee, and he's like, yeah, I've got another spot, blah, 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 in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
I got another spot. And then I hear his voice on the radio for Cotton Patch and this and that. I'm like, you're all up in my neighborhood, dude.
Yeah, and everybody else is in mine.
Right,
I think I booked one job. It was for Governor Lee here when he was putting out some kind of education program, and I booked that on voices.com, and I just don't get Tennessee work. That's okay.
Yeah.
I don't care where you play me. Just play me.
Yeah. Hey, as
Doesn't
long
matter.
as you pay me and pay me well and treat me fair
That's
and
right.
come back, we're best
Exactly.
friends. We'll
That's
do it all
right.
day long.
That's right. Well, from all of us here and to all of you out there, we'll see you the next time we're together on the VO Life.
See you later.